No trial involving a scary incident of arson last year here in Omaha.
That's because the suspect pleaded no contest in Douglas County Court this week. According to investigators, Jacob Hansen set a house on fire last August with his roommates inside. He went as far as to block the exit from one roommate's bedroom door and then set fire to a recliner and use it to block another roommate's door. He also pleaded no contest to a charge of making a terroristic threat. In that case, he called his ex-girlfriend after the fire and suggested burning down her place as well.